This week is National AccessAbility Week and Manitoba Access Awareness Week. It's a chance to bring to light the many barriers Manitobans living with disabilities face every day at home, work, and play. The goal is to find ways to improve access for everyone. Joining us now is Manitoba Possible CEO Lindsey Cooke and Ambassador Janelle-Marie Emond. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Janelle-Marie, let's start with you. Tell us, back in 2021, that's when your life changed and you needed to move to a wheelchair. You were walking before that. Tell us what happened.
In 2021, I was officially diagnosed with a condition called lipedema, and that affects my mobility due to swelling in my legs. So because walking was becoming so hard for me, I really needed a wheelchair just so that I could get long distances. I can still walk short distances, but the long distances was the problem, so I had to get a wheelchair.
And so you've lived life without the wheelchair, and so you know what it's like not having barriers, and you know what it's like now facing barriers everywhere you go. Tell us about the perspective that you've gained as a result of that.
The perspective is pretty cool because when I was walking, you know, you could go do everything and it's not a big deal. When you have a wheelchair, things are so different because you have to think about when you're going somewhere, can I get into that place? Is there a ramp? Is the bathroom going to work for me? Even just going to some places that say they're accessible, they're actually not. You go in and you go into the bathroom and the sink may be way over here, but there's no room to turn around with your chair, or you have to leave your chair outside the door, which isn't always comfortable because the chair is now an extension of me. That's my legs. So why am I leaving my legs outside of a door?
These are things people don't think about.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this week being what it is, why is it important to talk about accessibility and, you know, highlighting what Manitoba Possible does? Tell us a little bit about your agency.
For sure. So Manitoba Possible, we've been around for 75 years, and we work to provide a wide range of services to Manitobans with disabilities, their families, and their communities. So we work in collaboration with people with disabilities to really make society more accessible and inclusive for everyone, and that is really targeting those barriers that we see and helping to remove them.
We know that we've come a long way since, I don't know, the 1970s or even the 60s, but there's so much more left to do. How do we change things? How do we make some of the changes that'll make or remove some of those barriers?
Yeah. I think just opening people's eyes to things and people being more aware of what's actually going on. If you see a person in a wheelchair, you don't always have to be like, oh, can I help you? Because sometimes we don't want the help, but you know, assess the situation and then maybe see, like if I'm in a store trying to reach something up high, obviously I might need some help. But sometimes it's also, I want to try and do it myself. So just people being more aware of things that they see, or if they notice something that, hey, maybe this doesn't quite work for somebody, maybe I should say something. And then it's about going, who do I call? Who do I contact? Just being aware and raising that awareness, I think, is a big thing.
And so an event that's coming up is a way to get that awareness out. Tell us what's happening.
Yes, that's exactly what these weeks are about. It's about everybody standing in solidarity with people with disabilities to recognize their leadership and their contributions, but to also pledge to make Manitoba and Canada a more accessible place for everyone. So Manitoba Possible is hosting a community celebration tomorrow at Notre Dame Recreation Center. We're going to have a focus on accessible travel and leisure and how important those types of experiences are for everyone. So we'll have people with their personal experiences, we'll have some experts that are sharing how we go about making this accessible for all. So everyone's welcome. Notre Dame Recreation Center, and it starts at 11:30, and I think it'll be a great opportunity to stand in solidarity. It also happens to be Red Shirt Day for Action. So that's another event. It's a busy week, and so we invite everyone that's coming to dress in red, and it just helps stand in solidarity and show that support for Manitobans with disabilities.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Again, if you want more information, we have a link on our website.